Welcome back. You're watching Networking Connections. I'm in conversation with Tony Tsao, who's the CEO of D-Link. It's a leader in Ethernet technology. Mr. Tsao, before the break, we were talking about what India's own potential is in terms of the 3G rollout that we're going to see shortly and what the telecom sector is going to look like post that. I want to also ask you, you're also a leader in green technology. Talk to us a little bit more about what you call green computing.
Okay, I think this is the very popular word worldwide because of the global warming, whatever. Yeah, so I think for particularly in India, because of such huge populations, and now it's a lot of car coming out. So as the green is very important to all the societies. And in fact, 3 years ago, we are the first one to announce all this green technology to put into our switches. Then later on, we put into the wireless, then put into the storage, all this. And initially maybe like the limited function, and now it's coming to the full function of the green. Once you don't use these switches, then it will put into the sleep mode.
Yeah, it goes into sleep mode when you're not using the switches.
Yeah. Then the other thing is based on the distance. Then you see the distance. You don't send such a big power to that if the distance is shorter. So they have this formula to calculate all these kind of things. And other than this, and then you have also comply with the IEEE, all these kind of different like EUP for the Europe, RoHS, all these kind of environmental protection type of programs.
And how difficult do you think it's going to be to replicate that sort of green technology in India, in an environment such as India?
I think technology-wise, it's already built in the products. Okay, so it's also, I think that in terms of green, it's a whole concept. So even like now we also invest in the buildings. We just bought the buildings, okay, for our office. Actually, the whole buildings are green buildings.
Right.
So I think that the green is not necessarily, not only just in the product side. So the way you do business and the way you operate in the company, like you print out the papers, is the green. All the kinds of concepts have to be all the employees understand the nature.
That everyone's contributing in some way to making not just the business green, but also the product green.
Yeah, but certainly you have to start from the product. Then the product make sure it's really the energy saving and make sure it's the environmental harmony. Yeah.
Right. I want to ask you, also, when you look at India, this is just moving away from green technologies. When you look at India and when you look at the infrastructure, especially for software services, what have been your experiences so far, and what if you have any suggestions about how you can improve the operating environment over here?
Okay. I think that India is very well known for software operation, and especially in the past, it's more in the infrastructure, the fundamental type of software research and doing the things for all the US companies or other European companies. I think that's the area we did have a software operation here before we demerged, and now we demerged and become the pure D-Link. As I mentioned to you, okay, our product is an infrastructure product. That's very important. But now moving to the application-oriented, also in service-oriented product and solutions, and which require huge software intensive modification or edit or all these kind of things. Yeah, so you talk about the cloud computing, you talk about the Internet of the things, you talk about the linking to all different area with the easy to link, network management, that kind of things. You need a lot of software.
Right.
Okay, so, and certainly we can have a software people in Taiwan, in US, and in Russia, and also in China, and certainly we will do. In fact, this trip is very important for me to really look again what's the kind of talent that we can use from India perspective, and at the same time support the local market growth, in the same time support the worldwide market.
Right.
Yeah.
Are you going to be hiring from India for any of your worldwide operations?
Yes, that would be the idea in the future. So, okay, not only the software, and also like India talents for the marketing, material creations, website creation, a lot of things that we can use this talent here because it's English-speaking countries. Yeah.
That's right. Okay, we'll take a short break right now. When we come back, we'll talk about the competition between India and China, whether it's real or imagined, and what do you see in respect to your own industry. We'll talk about that after this. Welcome back. I'm in conversation with Tony Sao, who's the CEO of D-Link. It's a leader in Ethernet technology. Mr. Sao, before the break, we were talking about India, the particular infrastructure available over here for setting up shop, especially if you're a software provider or provider of internet technologies. I want to ask you, how has your business globally been affected because of the slowdown?
I think the slowdown, actually, you always have to look at how, where is your company position. So when the US and Europe slow down, actually it's come to the great opportunity for us as Asia vendors and provide the more inexpensive product and good quality product, and to really fill in the gap of which the American vendors they in the past they cannot do. So in the past 2 years, instead of going down, actually we are going up. Okay.
Because of being price competitive.
Being price, not only the price, and also I think sometimes the user don't need that huge features, and we just provide the right feature functions to the users, and with a good price. Then that's really give us a lot of advantages. So we see the Europe and the US will continue to grow, because we are very strong in the emerging markets, and so using US and US, there's a good technology, the new trend in, as I mentioned, the application driven, then apply to the emerging market. That's the things that we think that will continue. The worldwide, we will all grow in that area. Yeah.
I want to ask you, what are your thoughts on cloud computing, and have you been able to find a niche in that particular segment?
Yeah, so actually for the cloud computing, like particular going to the home, and that's like work with the TVs, and we announced many different kind of this kind of product in CES this year, and we won many awards. Actually, like one of the this set-top box and to download all these cloud this entertainments, it's called Boxies, and recently we just shipped, and yesterday just shipped on the Amazons, and it looks like the feedback is very good. It's the same as recently you have Apple TV, Google TV. Yeah, Boxy is one of this kind of things, and we provide a much better solutions for the society. So that's the one thing. Then the other is like a home monitoring, home safe, and IP camera, that kind of things that you also get the cloud application and really provide the very good solution for the home safety and something like that. So that's the area we will continue, and we'll continue to also work with the 3 screens, which is like our IP camera from the mobile phone. You can through the IP camera see your kids, where are you,
where they are, keep track of your kids while they're away.
Yeah, that kind of things. So also we can attach to the TV and the PC. So that's the 3 screen things that we are really focused, and also we enhance our this connectivity software, so make sure it's very easy to connect and very easy to use.
All right. No conversation would be complete if I did not bring up the whole India-China alleged rivalry, or should I say the real rivalry between these two economies. What have your observations been in terms of the development markets in these two countries?
Actually, these two countries should complement each other. Okay, China are very good in hardware. And India is very good in the software. And actually, we are the one that have very strong presence in both countries, and also we know the demand and market and talents of people. So I think it's very strong intention that we bring all this together. So for example, like we now start to introduce a lot of the product we launch in China, then now come to India, and then in the future we'll see the Indian talents and going to enrich the market in there. Then once you have these two markets strong enough, then you can go everywhere, like Brazil, like Middle East, Africa, everywhere.
Newer markets. And how are the consumers different? How is the Chinese consumer different from the Indian consumer?
I think the Indians, I would say now you have a lot of LFR, right? Large format retail coming.
Right.
So compared with the advanced market, India may be like a couple of years behind, but it's because the speed is very fast. Because the whole world attention is coming to India to develop. Yeah, so maybe in the past 10 years, the whole world come to China to develop. But now, because of a lot of internal whatever labor getting more expensive, so people coming to India.
The focus is shifting to India.
And the lucky for India is because the technology changes very fast. So they can use, India can use the latest technology. That you don't need to go through the whole step, but you just dip, jump into the different step. So
Right.
that's the
Who's
things.
more price sensitive? Which consumer is more price sensitive? Would you say the Chinese consumer is more wary to little spikes, or would that be Indians?
I look at the ways it's really okay. If you position your product as a Me Too product, it's everywhere is a price sensitive. But if your product is really like have some differentiation and really fit the user requirement, and you can still enjoy the good margins.
You can enjoy good margins over there. Well, on that note, Tony Sao, I have to thank you for coming in and sharing your time with us, telling us a little bit more about the company and of what you do, not just in India but across the globe. Many thanks for your time.
Thank you.
That was Tony Sao, the CEO of D-Link. We hope you enjoyed the show. Thanks so much for watching. From the entire team here, goodbye.